Yeah, we are. 269 will be up shortly. But
Stay away. Everybody's going to be happy with that episode.
I can't wait for the takes we get on episode 269. The whole thing is just going to be like erotic fiction.
Full reciprocation for everyone.
Full frontal podcasting.
Oh, we got to do that one in the nude?
I mean, yeah, more nude than we usually are.
Gross.
Welcome to the 261st episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz, and we're joined in the spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shalis Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor.
I'm just happy to hear you putting some respect back on 69 in this era of 6'7".
Nice. These 6'7" kids could never. They just don't get it.
I sent you the screenshot, but I laughed pretty hard when there was like a day-old post on the Lewis County Canoes, Knews, about the number 69 popped up somehow, and they just wrote nice. And there was only 2 likes on their stuff. They usually have a lot of likes, and the only 2 likes were you and I.
Real ones, no.
Yeah. It's not about being perverse. It's just, that's the real number of import in the 60s.
People forget that sometimes. So the first preamble I have here, and I don't even have any links on it. Hopefully you can fill me in on this a little bit, maybe. But where are you at on the light pollution scandal?
Oh, I am. I have not been more delighted by a scandal in quite some time. We got that news release for the county. I looked at it. I was like, this is kind of weird, but it was the end of the day. Yeah. And so I was like, well, we'll get the intern to write it up tomorrow. I sent it to Tyrus, our esteemed intern, and then I just threw the PDF up on Facebook and walked away. And then like 3 hours later, I hopped on Facebook, and the people were upset.
So as I understand it, the county passed an ordinance a while back about, maybe don't shine your extremely bright LED lights directly into your neighbor's windows or directly up into the sky, that kind of thing.
Right.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, no, I think it is reasonable. I'm assuming this is like many government things, though. This is probably a law that is meant to deal with one set of circumstances somewhere in the county.
Yeah, or even like I was under the impression, I could be wrong, that this was like a statewide thing.
This was a change to Lewis County code.
Okay.
But Sean Swope did say that it is to bring the county in line more or less with the state's quote-unquote green initiatives.
Okay. Sure.
We didn't get into it any further than that. I was not going to dump a ton of resources into this story. But yeah, Swope did come out and say he was sick for several weeks. I don't want to step on your bit, so go on.
He did. He rose from his invalid state to post on Facebook disagreeing with the county's press release, which had his name on it. And as I understand, he voted for originally.
Well, I mean, could have.
So, yeah, he was quick to jump up and, do a whole, like, give me the brightest lights in the sky or give me death from his deathbed. He's been out for sick for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. You going to attack him for being sick now?
3 weeks out sick, and it's only fair, as he would, that we speculate as to what illness he could have acquired and how during flu season that would have kept him out of work during the second half of December, right over the Christmas holiday. And surprisingly, just a few short days after HBO aired its program Heated Rivalry. Your thoughts?
I didn't see you taking that turn at the end, so I was caught off guard for that. No, I don't have anything else to add. This is a news brief that somehow went off the rails and upset a lot of people. And I thought that Swope spotting it late and posting what he posted, which you can go read about at Cronline or on Sean Swope's feed, whichever you have easiest access to. I found the entire thing to be quite funny.
I would never allow my name to be added to your name is on county letterhead.
I just also think it's kind of like everybody got worked up about nothing. I don't think even if this was a hard and fast rule that they're going to have, like, the county's going to have a task force out on the streets just like measuring light pollution on lawns and handing out tickets and things. Like,
it's a mechanism for if somebody calls and says, hey, my neighbor is, shining a light directly into my house all night. Can you do something? Law enforcement can come out and be like, hey, this is a code violation. Like, here's a fine for $15. Please, leave your neighbors alone.
Again, this is almost definitely one property dispute somewhere in the county that prompted this. And I would love to know that backstory. And I will be at your house this evening with my headlights directly on your window. See all the freakish shit you get into in that house.
It entertains me to no end when a politician, your Jim Walsh's, your Sean Swopes, will go out there with a "Don't tread on me" ass take on something. Sir, you are the government. You are the treading in this scenario.
I think his direct, like, I'm not trying to carry water or defend his point. I think he was saying, I was sick. I didn't approve this news release. I normally approve news releases. I'm sure the commissioners do approve news releases. An interesting wrinkle that I was not aware of is that the county deleted this off of their site, which further justifies me just stealing these news releases and posting them on our site, the Chronicle site.
Trying to 1984 the news, are they?
I imagine Sean, when he was done angry posting on Facebook, he probably messaged the clerk and, commissioner's staff and was like, take this down.
Sure. Just what if they just like Photoshop the PDF at the bottom to take his name off of it?
I don't know. They should have included a light on how this doesn't apply to gaslighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're able to gaslight anyone you like. Your neighbor, your friend, your podcast host.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I just keep those lights downward. That's all we're saying.
Any other...
Or you'll end up in jail.
Any other... Some inmates are just keystring flashlights into jail. Jeez. This one really is getting off the rails quick.
Oh, yeah. We did have quite the provocative conversation on the act of keystring the other day.
It was a good one.
It's just one of those things that happens in the news that it's always delightful. Like, there's never it comes up in a story and you're just like...
Yeah, and I bet
you're like mad that it happened.
And I bet you enjoy reading about it, too.
Just... Let's see. Did you want to do a preamble for our breaking news, or do you want to just do that as a news item I had shared with you about the tip you passed along to me has come to fruition?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Yeah, and your tip was provided by someone else, I assume, because you are not engaged.
No.
Gather Church gets win against Lewis County in needle exchange lawsuit. U.S. District Court judge sides with Centralia Church, but the matter is not yet settled. It was a bit of a temporary move, a temporary injunction, I believe. Mm-hmm. But basically, Gather can continue to do what they were doing before the ordinance right now until the case works its way through the court. This was the ban, essentially a ban. It was regulation, so you're going to get into people wanting to get into the weeds.
Semantics and all that.
Essentially a ban on mobile needle operations, needle exchanges, harm reduction if you're in that space. It's probably the preferred nomenclature. So that's it. They're able to do it. That was a ruling that happened at the end of December. And then I'm sure the next time we'll hear about this case will be when there is a final decision.
All right. Good news for Gather. Mm-hmm. Good news for anybody who has urged the county to maybe stop getting itself into so many lawsuits.
Sure, Aaron, sure. We also had more breaking news. Teen charged with 2023 Toledo murder pleads guilty. This is Daniel Keogh. You might recall he's also the young gentleman who also had the violent escape attempt at the Lewis County Juvenile Detention Center. And, well, it wasn't an attempt. He got away, but they got him back in there. Pleaded guilty. This is in the death of, I'm going to mispronounce it, I'm sorry, but 30-year-old Navjot Singh. And this was at the Shell down there in Toledo. Three kids, basically, but they have all pleaded guilty now. The sentencing for this one is February 2nd. And then the other suspects, let's see here, were 16 and 17 at the time. One of them pleaded guilty and got 16 years. The other one pleaded guilty, and the outcome was dependent on this case. So I'm sure we'll get the final news on that soon, too.
Okay, good updates.
Good.
News updates, or news items. New big old lumberjack statue now stands in place of the original, greeting visitors in Morton. I like a good, there's a new statue in town story.
I like that Owen does a story anytime anything happens with that big old statue.
He loves the big old lumberjack.
I was not even aware of Big Ol, or that it was called Big Ol. I think everybody saw it when you go in. But yeah, it was really, really nice work. It looks almost exactly like the original. The artist was very proud of that. It's a different kind of wood, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Rod Blair carved the original one of these in 1983 to kind of greet people as they're on their way into the Loggers Jubilee. And then the old one was getting a little bit of rot down at the bottom, which is something that happens after 40-some years. So Jacob Lucas from Bonnie Lake carved the new one. He carves in a bunch of regional woodcarver competitions. It sounds like his brother is a Morton boy. So they added a new special base for the new Big Ol, which raises the statue several inches, ensuring ventilation under the base, keeping water from being trapped underneath, and starting the wood rot process. I thought that was interesting.
So Big Ol Lumberjack, very indicative of Morton, you know? It's a good icon for Morton. So if we get one of these in Centralia, there's some sort of carved chainsaw carving. When you get off the exit right there at the outlets, what are we going to have there?
Well, it's either going to be Big Ol Heaton.
Big Ol Kyle Heaton.
Obviously a gilded statue. Or big old kayak man, and he's floating in the river.
That would be really good. Big old kayak man would be good. You could also have like a panhandler, since you're not allowed to do that anymore, and the law could also be affixed to it.
That's true.
But I was thinking like something. It's got to be something gritty,
You get a big old deadlift shrimp. Just be life size.
I'm sure the ability to form likenesses in wood is quite easy for these chainsaw artists.
Well, he always had like a pretty distinctive haircut. Some say he stole it from Bob Peters, but who's to say?
Is that who you consider Centralia's most famous product, even though he was an exchange student?
He still graduated from Centralia High School.
No, I'm not taking it away.
I mean, I don't know. Do you know what Merce Cunningham looks like off the top of your head?
Yeah, because they had his big poster over there at the college when I was there. Yeah, he'd be a good one.
I don't think I'd recognize him if I saw him out in the wild. Or other famous Centralians or Centralia. There isn't really like any Centralia.
Maybe you could put Lyle Overbay out there. Ooh, yeah. Charlie Albright.
Charlie, just with like a flaming piano.
Oh yeah. Well,
cool.
I don't know why it would be flaming, but
like his fingers are too hot.
AI is telling me right now that Morton produced the godfather of grunge, Buzz Osborne, which I was not aware of.
I'm not sure who that is, but sounds cool.
It's AI, so I'm not certain that it's even true. Angela Mead's another one. Craig McCaw, the cell tower magnate.
Okay,
he's like a billionaire.
These are Centralia people.
These are Centralia people. Lyle Overbay, of course. It says the actor Mark Davis. Don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
No, this is classic AI. I clicked on it. It pulled up Mark Davis from the Raiders. I don't think he's from Centralia.
I think we would have heard about that.
Anyways, that is the same technology that powers an entire publication to our south, and also once reported that there were orcas in Mayfield Lake because someone wrote it on Facebook.
That's true. Oh, I was going to correct you and say an entire publication to your north, but I see what you're getting at now.
Mm-hmm. Brock Peterson also made the list of most famous people from Centralia that AI has produced.
Chehalis.
And then George Washington. It breaks these down.
Which George Washington?
No, it has George Washington, founder of McCaw Cellular, which is now part of AT&T.
What?
And Clearwire Corporation, which is now T-Mobile. You've never heard of McCaw. I've gone down the rabbit hole. But it breaks these down in categories, and it has pioneers in business, George Washington, founder of Centralia, and Craig McCaw. Those are our pioneers in business.
I thought George Washington was just a straight-up pioneer.
It has them together in this section.
All right. Well, okay.
Anyways.
Thanks a lot.
It says Mark Davis is known for roles in Jarhead and Fired Up.
Fired Up? I love the movie Fired Up.
We're going to have to look into this because we've got no reporting.
Yeah, you do a story on Mark Davis. I'm glad you just burned several thousand gallons of water making that inquiry into AI.
My laptop is the only place I haven't figured out how to get rid of that as an option. As you know, I am violently opposed to AI in all of its forms.
I do hate AI very much.
The worst. Just the worst. It's ruining life as we know it. That and the Zyncels are the two worst things happening in this country right now.
Your rants about the Zyncels have led to perhaps my favorite editorial in quite some time.
Oh,
we will get to that very quickly because I don't have a lot of news on this list.
Okay.
The only other piece of news I have on here is Thurston County establishes dedicated donation fund for new sheriff's office aviation program.
Hell yeah.
In a 3-1 vote on Tuesday, the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners approved a resolution to establish a dedicated donation fund for their helicopter. The sheriff is going to use it to chase criminals and save lost folks or whatever. The chopper costs $10,000, but launching an aviation program will cost another $94,000, which includes like a radio. I guess you need a special radio to talk to a helicopter, and $12,000 a year for insurance. That's where they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Sanders said that they've already had a bunch of big donations. Can you imagine the Facebook post when Sanders catches his first criminal in that thing?
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
How many times will he get a shot of himself like hanging off the helicopter, just hanging off one of the legs?
0 times he will get that. I don't believe that will happen at all.
I can see him doing he will AI it maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Would you run that photo if you sent it in?
Oh, yeah, of course I would.
What if it was
AI?
AI?
No.
There you go.
No. Most submitted photos these days, I try to feed through the AI detectors, the various AI detectors that keep getting outrun by the AI itself.
I invited
It's a stupid time to be alive, Aaron.
I invited our Thurston County correspondent on to this podcast, but he had plans tonight. But he is anxious to come back.
Wayne Fournier?
Yeah, I texted him earlier.
He was on Let's Talk About It this morning. I told him I was going to call in, and I just got busy. But I was going to ask him about Zyncels. That was the only pressing question that I had.
Yeah, well, do you think Wayne's a Zyn guy?
He's a personal liberty guy, I'm sure.
That's
I'm sure he'd be on the right side of this. And if not, I got plenty of friends. I can do without one. There are no correct two sides to this, though.
Yeah,
the line has been drawn in the sand.
The
people
constant propaganda on this is winning me over. Actually,
it's outrageous. It's outrageous. Yeah. Anyways, I'll save all my Zyn takes for the column you referred to.
All right, let's take a break, and then we'll get to perhaps I'm sure the most pleasurable column you've read in quite some time.
Oh yeah.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments, and first up, Tales from the Takes page, and I just wrote Zyn Man Loves Cigs. This is a commentary. The official title is Washington State's Zyn Tax Destroys Health and Worsens Lives. This is from Cameron Bailey.
Say it louder.
And he's got a picture of himself with what do you call the thing that goes around a bolo tie?
I don't know.
He's got that and a big old, it's got to be a 10-gallon hat, I think.
His blog, otherwise, aside from this Zyn take, is mostly about Masonic lodge issues.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps you at all.
I read this whole thing in like a Texas drawl. You stumble out of bed, eyes barely open. Make your way to your favorite chair, going slowly so as not to fall over in your half-asleep condition. Open the little box on the table next to you, your nostrils picking up that familiar smell. Take a cigarette, put it between your lips. Flick a lighter to life, touch its flame to the tip. Inhale a warm smoke, hard and deep. Instantly, the nicotine hits. The whole thing goes like this, and I was great. Captivated from the first... I've never been, I'd smoked a few in my day. I was never necessarily a morning smoker, but the way this guy romanticizes it, I wanted to go out and get a pack.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was ready to burn a dart immediately.
I was like, heat me up, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it was really good. It's like the whole first 1,000 words are about how much he liked cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's almost like he started to type his Zyn column, got into the cigs, and then 2 hours later was like, oh, God, I had a point here.
Never has a column screamed more of I need a cigarette, and not in a I am craving a cigarette, but more as the expression boy, I needed a cigarette after that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was just going on. This reads like a Penthouse forum letter.
Yet he hit all the salient points. He did a fine job.
That exact experience is why it is so hard for a smoker to ever successfully quit cigarettes. They're too damn good. They wanted me to give up women, and I said no.
I also enjoyed his bit about how with Zyns are more appropriate for both male and females because females look inappropriate when they're doing it.
Hardly.
To be news to Ridley.
Just
our esteemed photographer and Zyn level 3 user.
I know this firsthand. I spent more days than I want to remember as a 2-pack a day man. The good ones, Marlboro Reds. Yes. It's hell yeah.
He eventually gets to the point, though. The cost of nicotine pouches were about half the cost of dip until January 1st, 2026. The cost savings has always been so large as to be a significant motivator, pushing people into harm reduction. Overnight, thanks to our legislature and the governor, cost of nicotine pouches more than doubled because between the newly imposed excise tax on nicotine pouches and the existing sales tax, more of the actual cost of the product is taxation than the product itself, which is... bullshit, Aaron.
In one line, he writes, but nicotine doesn't significantly harm us when used in normal quantities. It doesn't kill us. He capitalized nicotine, much as you would do with the name of a loved one or perhaps an exalted one. And I like to think it was just kind of like maybe intentional, but dear sweet nicotine.
Yeah, I definitely think he hit the backspace and the caps lock on that one.
But this is just a top to bottom, tips to toes,
I'm going to have to enter it.
It burns down to the filter. This thing rips.
It really did. I told you recently, I haven't wanted a cigarette in a long time, probably about 1.5 years now. I was doing like one a year for the last 3 or 4 years. After this, though, man, I mean, I had to stop myself at the counter on my way home. I was just like, Derek, you don't need that Marlboro Red as bad as you want it, as you think.
I hadn't noticed the bit about women in here for a very real way. This effective harm reduction strategy has been out of practical reach for women. Like, what?
I also like his use of anti-tobacco zealots for anyone who is against this. It was really good. We haven't even said his name yet. This is by Cameron Bailey.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people know who Cameron Bailey is, and you should go click on his click on this story in our opinion section on Cronline, and then go check out his Substack because he's got a lot of stuff in there, and I bet you it's just as good.
Are you familiar with the rapper Master P?
Yeah.
Do you remember his song "Make Crack Like This"? Where the lyrics are just a recipe for making crack cocaine.
I do.
I read this paragraph much like Master P read the lyrics to "Make Crack Like This." Take some tea bag-like material and make a little tiny pouch. Put some inert material in it to give it some body. Add an appropriate and adequate amount of nicotine so the consumers know exactly how much is in each pouch and can purchase the strength necessary for their personal and unique needs. Splash a hint of flavor on top. Voila! A nicotine pouch.
Yeah, it's good. You got to go read it if you haven't read it already. It's also cemented the notion that if there is a protest, because we're entering the legislature next week, the session. If there's a protest at any point of the Zyn tax, that will be the only protest you will ever find me at. And I will be wrapped in my Gadsden flag, and I will have my mouth stuffed with as many Zyns at one time as I can get in there. Probably like easily $50 worth of Zyns.
So, yeah, that was, Cameron Bailey has done something that, Joe Camel and the Marlboro Man could only dream of. The way he has made smoking seem cool. And just, damn.
He really did.
All right. So that was the big highlight from Tales from the Ticks page. There was also some pushback to a column from Chad.
No, that never happened.
About something that occurred. I'm just reading this in Venezuela. Did something occur there?
Yeah, something did occur.
Seems perhaps unconstitutional.
I think things continue to occur.
Things that continue to occur all over the place.
Yes, he wrote Hypocrisy on Parade when a dictator is bad until he isn't, which spurred a couple letters to the editor today. One of them was from Bob Moorbacher, the Centralia College president.
Oh.
And he just wrote, even when it is inconvenient, the U.S. should conduct itself lawfully.
I agree.
He said he read Chad's column with bewilderment, which... It's always nice to hear, I guess. It's always nice to hear some feedback after your column.
Don't think he was alone.
And then, Matt Evans also wrote a column. I have to say, Matt Evans writes a column a letter anytime Chad or Sean Swope write something. I know I will get a Matt Evans response. And this one is Chronicle publisher underscores the selective constitutionalism that has come to define his party.
Well, Peter Barno writes, normalizing dangerous drugs is creating a new prison system in Washington. I think he's talking about you and your Zyns, sir.
Mm-hmm. It would work for that.
You're standing at a Chevron counter. This gas station is a fucking prison.
It really is. I mean, the move though. We had a staffer here got a message from a member of the Chehalis tribe today. You just got to go to the reservation. They're not taxing it. Not at those levels.
All right.
They'd never.
So yeah, that's those are kind of the highlights from the opinion section. And then new segment, history should repeat itself. From Friday, January 3rd, 1936, an Onalaska infant appeared to be the first baby born in the new year, followed by a baby in Centralia. From the Chronicle, quote, up to the time of going to press today, only 2 1936 babies had been registered in connection with the Baby Derby, sponsored by Centralia Merchants and the Daily Chronicle.
Oh, hell yeah.
The first one so far to lay claim to the prizes is baby Charles Eugene Davis. He let the new year beat him in by only 4 minutes. Great writing. And then the second arrival was Richard Babson Rogers. If there are any other new arrivals ahead of these, they have not been reported to the baby editor of the Chronicle. I like the liberties they take with reporting on this, and also the fact that you had a baby derby back in that. Bring that back, cowards.
We always do first baby of the year, but you'll note we did not this year, and that is because I'm saying it's because Chris Thomas, our friend of the podcast, Chris Thomas, he's retiring. I think last week was his last week, or this is his last week over at Providence. I didn't get any news on it, despite him setting things up ahead of time. And then, like 6 days after New Year's, I got an email that was like, "Yeah, there was a baby had, but they did not want to do the first year baby of the new year thing." Oh. I kind of just think we got blown off, if I'm being honest.
What would be in the baby derby prize pack? Just like a log of Zyns?
Yeah, these days.
Yeah,
you got to go for high value. Yeah, they are. Whose baby's good and addicted early?
Maybe your baby prize pack could contain a 10% off coupon to The Roof Doctor.
There we go.
Although the prices are already extremely low and reasonable at The Roof Doctor. Commensurate for what you're getting, which is a fantastic roof. The Roof Doctor wonders, is your roof under the weather? And if so, give them a call because they are awaiting your house call. Check out theroofdoctor.com or call them at 360-736-0246. And then People's Champion of the Week, you sent me a photograph from Wolf Haven.
That's my champ of the week.
Of a wolf eating a steak or something?
While taking a crap.
Oh, is that? I didn't look that closely at it.
Come on.
It's a circle of life.
Wolf Haven posted a picture of one of its wolves. It's the wolf sanctuary in Tenino, and it's popped into a full squat and has a steak in its mouth at the same time. And they just wrote about multitasking, and I was like, you know what? That is Chronicle. That is Chronicle content right there.
Good for that wolf.
People's Champ of the Week.
Outside of that, I would say the People's Champ of the Week is your boy Cameron Bailey.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? We'll let him edge the defecating wolf in this case. I'm down with that. He's inspired a generation. I do have some comments for comments of the week on that piece when we roll around. I know I never have comments of the week, so
okay, all right. And then what's going on with Shayla's Outfitters?
What is going on with Shayla's Outfitters?
What's Kelly got going over there?
So most recently they posted yesterday tons of shoes. We're on the move again. We've taken all of our clearance and discontinued footwear and brought them together into one easy-to-spot corner, making it even easier for you to find big savings in one place. And trust us, we can't wait to show you what we're making room for. Stop by today and check out the clearance corner before all the deals are gone. They also have a free canning seminar coming up that we talked about last week. That's on Saturday, January 17th at 10:30 a.m. People were encouraged to keep their chicken carcasses from the holidays in order to turn that into stock.
Did you
keep your carcasses?
Did you keep that rabbit carcass over at your place? Make rabbit soup out of that, baby?
That's a little too soon, sir. That was my children's rabbit. How dare you? Rest in peace to Biscuit. Put some respect on Biscuit's name, you jerk.
I mean, you could take it over there. You could have some biscuits and biscuit for dinner.
Yeah, I've made all the Biscuit jokes already in the house. And they were all prior to the untimely death. R.I.P. Good rabbit. That's what I wrote on the headstone. There's snow in the forecast. Did you know that? Are you ready? Because they've got men's, women's, and kids' snow pants, bibs, coats, hats, gloves, and sleds in stock now. You know, once it snows, you're not going to be able to find a sled.
That's
so
true.
You got to go get it now. And there's snow up in the hills, so you can actually go buy a sled and use it today if you want to.
It was reportedly snowing, sleeting a little bit up north today.
Yeah.
I didn't see any, but I heard about it.
And then look for the latest advertisement from Shayla's Outfitters, a full pager in the Thursday edition of the Chronicle. There's a new sale, I'm sure, because there's always a sale going on. And Kelly's always got some exciting stuff going on over there. Did you know she's doing trivia at O'Blarney's now?
No, I didn't know that. What nights did you do?
Is it trivia or is it bingo? I don't
bingo.
know.
It's
bingo. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw a bingo thing.
I don't know. I stumbled into it the other night on accident. You know how that is.
Yeah,
Trying to get home, slip, fall, land at O'Blarney's.
Went in without me, huh?
I invited you that day.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's what Shayla's Outfitters has got going on.
All right, you got some Facebook comments of the week?
Yes, I do. And they're all on Cameron Bailey's
I
penultimate piece.
Didn't even look at Camera Bailey's smoke 'em if you got 'em.
My
please.
favorite comment was Ernest, and well, it wasn't his name was David, not Ernest, but they were earnest in their comment. I was so confused and bummed to learn about this tax. I understand the concept of taxing tobacco to recuperate at point of sale some of the money that will be spent in the public health burden it creates, but then they decided to close the loophole. I thought the loophole was that I get to have nicotine with a probable order of magnitude less health risk, and everything was working out as intended. So is it being taxed just because I like it?
Yes.
Goes on and on, but there's that. 95% tax is criminal. Even the mafia wouldn't be so cruel. Has nothing to do with health. It had everything to do with the Democrats supporting raising taxes. At what point is it time? In time, has a Democrat ever lowered taxes? I would add that usually no one lowers taxes. You get a tax, it's not going away. Screwing the poors even more. Golly, here I thought blue was for helping the little guy. Nope, they like gentrification.
What?
I'm just reading all the comments that I got here. I'm just starting to think I shouldn't read them before reading them. I spoke to a convenience store owner the other day about this. He said that over half of his vape customers have gone back to cigarettes. I don't know what that has to do with Zyns if they were buying vapes before. I think vapes are also being taxed at a much higher rate now.
Well, I mean, vapes are kind of lame.
Copenhagen is cheaper. I'll just go back to that.
I doubt that.
I think it is cheaper.
Really?
Yes. Mr. Bailey made the same point in his column.
Oh.
Government gave our military the privilege of smoking while at war. They encouraged it, and now here we are today. Damn the government. I'll leave it at that.
What else
Damn
is the military
the
up
government.
All right. So do you feel seen?
I do.
We were joking offline earlier that this Zyn tax is your parents shot in Crime Alley moment. For you becoming Batman or some other kind of superhero. This is your Uncle Ben gunned down by a scofflaw.
I'm actively looking for ways to advocate here for Zyn users who are being trampled by their government. This is what started the Revolutionary War, if you recall.
You are quickly becoming, I dare say, a Zyncel.
I'm a Zinfidel.
You're a Zyncel. That's going to stick.
Other stuff, can I do a quick rundown since we don't have a whole lot of news?
Yeah.
Kalama football coach steps down, says his conservative views made him feel out of place in the Pacific Northwest. Do you feel sorry for him?
In Kalama, coaching in the Central 2B League.
Yes.
Sir, I have attended hundreds of Central 2B League games across all sports, and I can never tell you enough how much I disbelieve that.
Well, the libs have already got to you, so. Lewis County Indivisibles are going to have another protest on January 10th. They were out there on Monday. Ridley went out and got some photos of them. Probably
what do they have to protest?
Most popular piece of content on the Chronicle Facebook over the last week. For better or for worse, probably for worse. I did not go into the comments. I just refuse. Let's see if there's anything else.
I liked the number of people who see any kind of protest who are like, oh, don't these people have jobs? And then meanwhile, how many people were protesting in D.C. yesterday? I didn't see those same comments.
Several hundred, I think.
Yeah,
we did a
on
story
January 6th. A lot of people with jobs there.
The pro-January 6th people is what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We were at a States newsroom, comprehensive story on that, and it's still hard to wrap my head around. I have not changed my opinion. I will not be gaslit whether or not the light is directed at the ground or at me. That was an attempted insurrection. Anyone who says otherwise has an angle, and it's about politics. Centralia native helps lead a U.S. Department of Labor as President Trump appointee. This is David Castillo, who I wrote about back in 2008, 2009.
That seems like a job that's just getting easier every day. They're not even releasing reports anymore.
Why is everything got to be political with you, Aaron? This is a local boy who has made good.
What if your job was like, oh, by the way, we're not putting out a paper anymore? And you're like, well, I'll sit here with my thumb up my ass.
He's like the finance lead, so I think he'll still have work to do. But you're right. Maybe not. 3 Beavers to be inducted into Tenino Athletics Hall of Fame, and one of them is Jerry Striegel, who I had to inform the entire newsroom once allowed a kid to almost throw 200 pitches in a game and ended up in Sports Illustrated.
You know what? I'm pro Striegel on this one.
Me too.
Yeah, the kid was fine. It was him and Matt Whitmire's another one.
Yeah, put him in the hall.
He was Centralia's football coach for a couple years. He was a quarterback and went to play at, I think he played at Iowa State and UW, maybe.
Okay. Other news, mother of Green Hill inmate charged after allegedly smuggling drugs into the facility. She tried to give some marijuana to her son during a visit with family. Judge Jolie Yeager called the crime appalling and said, I can't tell you the efforts we've made to try to keep drugs out of that facility. It was a very short appearance. The son was also charged with possession. Let's see. Got another Green Hill inmate charged with possession after overdosing. And then let's see. I think we hit most of this. Oh, we have some extreme nepotism. I don't know if you'd call this nepotism. Centralia cat Miss Marple entered into America's favorite pet competition. That cat belongs to Thurston County Chronicle editor Emily Fitzgerald.
Oh.
And so I told the intern to write it up because we would do that for anyone else. Big news that we didn't hit on, Lewis County Fire Districts 5 and 6 are suing the city of Chehalis and Lewis County over the annexation process. You can find that at cronline.com. And yeah, that'll work. There was also a meeting on the proposed flow-through dam on the Chehalis River last night.
They're still doing that, huh?
Fairly dominated by environmentalists, I would say. Critics of the program, and they've also added another public event, and this one's going to be in Boisfort, which, just to me guessing, this seems to be an effort to get some actual flood victims and residents of the basin who were there in 2007 to say what they think about it.
Right. Okay. All right.
You don't believe it's real because you still don't believe WinCo is real or the United Learning Center.
I went to WinCo. It was fine.
It's there.
It is there.
After all your protests,
it's a really big store. I don't know. There's too much going on.
Oh, it's an excellent store.
There's a
It's
lot.
no Fuller's, you're right.
In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email to join Schwartz and his Zyncel crew at Chronicle News Dump at gmail.com.
Send Zens.